When I show people this chart and they get mad at me, I need you guys to know that the way I found out about this chart was I met someone who was formerly on the Biden administration who works for the Blue Rose Research Group. This chart is Democrat data created by Democrats to figure out where they went wrong. And when I show people this, they just get mad at me and yell about socialists. Ever since 2016 and the whole Bernie caused Hillary to lose agenda happened, there's been this rampant tear that like the problem is leftist or socialist, but like statistically what the numbers show is that like 80+% of Bernie supporters voted for Hillary. I think 12% of Bernie supporters ended up not voting, and then they say somewhere between like 6 to 12% of them ended up voting for Trump. And of the Bernie supporters who voted for Trump, they were formerly Republicans who didn't vote for Obama but saw something in Bernie. And despite that fact, like, people still blame Bernie bros. And it just keeps escalating. And I don't know why you guys are, I mean, I know why, but it feels very silly that you guys are insistent upon making leftists the fault of everything. Even when data doesn't show that, even when voter turnout doesn't show that, like even when like all of the truth of the world isn't in alignment with that, you're gonna blame us. You're gonna blame us. And like realistically, that's not why you're going to lose, but it's not helping. You're at odds with the truth. You can keep yelling about Jill Stein, and like, Jill Stein sucks. She does. She didn't get that many votes. Like, in theory, the Libertarian Party stole more votes from Republicans than the Green Party stole from Democrats. Guys, like, I don't know. At some point, you have to trust the reality of the world, which is that the average American voter, the median American voter, does not trust the Democratic Party to handle the issues that they feel plague the nation. Yeah. I've had a couple of drinks and I'm very sad about the state of the country. So here's what you need to understand about the Jimmy Kimmel thing, all right? The reason why Jimmy Kimmel's getting fired while Stephen Colbert's getting fired is because these companies, right, they want to do mergers and make more money, okay? But the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, determines if these like TV companies and stuff get to do mergers. Now, while technically the FCC is an independent commission, the president, the executive branch, gets to appoint who's in charge of it. So basically, anytime something happens on TV or streaming that the president does not like, he can go over to the FCC and go like, oh, you know that deal you were making? I don't know if we can make that deal. It's the reason why news outlets are firing people for simply mentioning the things that Charlie Kirk said. And the other reason is that Trump just starts suing people. And while ultimately these companies could most likely eventually win all of these lawsuits, the courts are very much so Republican appointees. A lot of them are. And then on top of that, the lawsuit itself costs so much money. So these companies and these corporations whose only real motivation is making as much money as possible, really fixing that bottom line, start bending over because they're going to make less money either through not being able to do these mergers or because they're going to have to go through a lengthy trial that's going to cost them so much money. They could, in theory, not give a fuck. They don't have to comply. There's no law making them comply. They want more money. They want their money. And in exchange for that, they have freely given up our rights. They're not legally required to fire. There's no law. They just want their money. And Trump is basically holding their extra money, not that they aren't making money, but their extra money hostage. CEOs are so fucking short-sighted that they would literally sell the state of our democracy for an extra yacht. Yay. Yay, this is the world we live in. You can't say anything because one guy wants a yacht. Last time, people used post-war economics to manipulate people into fascism. This time, a couple of dudes want to buy things. These 30 to 50 feral hogs are really fucking up our city. Oh, dude, look! Wild Steve just took out one of those hogs. Oh, shit, nice. I like that. I like when he does that. We should give Wild Steve the nuclear codes. I'm a little opposed to that. Why? Well, Wild Steve loves to get oiled up on Saturdays and punch old people at Piccadilly's. I feel like, we can't look over that part. Oh my God, nothing is good enough for you, bro. You just want these hogs to run rampant over our city. No, I actually don't. I think it's really good that he's taking that hog out. I think we should support him taking out more hogs. I just don't think we should give him the nuclear codes. Oh my God, like nothing short of perfection is good enough for you guys, all right? Remember when you guys kept complaining about Unstable Bob lighting bouncy houses on fire? Unstable Bob lighting bouncy houses on fire was bad though. Oh, so you think the hogs should be in charge? No, I just don't think we need to give Wild Steve the nuclear codes. Then why don't you just hand the nuclear codes over to the hogs, you piece of shit? And Unstable Bob led this city for 8 years. I don't care how many bouncy houses he lit on fire. I want him back. Me make point simpler, so no confusion. Redistricting, good. Vote for that. Trolling Trump, good. Like that. Hating homeless, bad. No like that. No like trans people, bad. No like that. Two things both true. Redistrict, good. Individual man, bad. Let individual man cook. Do not give individual man more power. You say Christian. Who president then? Me say, I don't know. Maybe somebody more like Tim Walz, who has less of the smell of liberal elite on him and is kind of a homegrown, heartful figure with good politics. You go, me no hear you. Me still be mad about Jill Stein. Me say, me no like Jill Stein either. Me no vote for Jill Stein. You say, well, I've already created a dimension in my head where every person I hear on the internet is the same person. Me say, big words complicated, go back to bit. You say, okay, me tag you in mini video. Me say, please stop tagging me in mini video when you know what me believe. Me say, no, me make 10-minute video, only 10% watch full video. Me know you know what me think. You say, your mama. Me say, don't bring my mama into this. You say, okay, me bad. Me scared right now. Trump dictator. Me say, yes, Trump dictator. Dictator bad. Me focus on other elections before 2028. You say, me think you leftist who hate voting. Me say, no, me love democratic government. Me do registration voter drives this year and last year and 2022. You say, oh, me did not know that. Me prejudged you as someone who hate voting. Me say no. Me understand system of capitalism no overturn through voting and global imperialism remain. However, me say in this Wired article, me no want migrants to experience extra harm. You say, oh, that's reasonable. Me sorry for being mean. Me say, understandable. We all have hard time on internet communicating. You say, wow, this video so good, me Venmo you $5. Me say, wow, that's crazy. Whoa.